Well, hello there, and welcome back to Good in the Middle Way. I'm your host Rob, and I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back. How have you been? I hope that you've been well. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of a spiritual life, and why would anyone want to do those things when we have so many comforts in this modern age? Now, I think clearly that the spiritual life and a spiritual path is paramount to our existence, but let's see if I can convince you of its importance. You see, our human minds, from any aspect, anybody analyzing it, have this tendency towards depression, towards nihilism, towards bouts of sadness, right? Somewhat lacking optimism, and rightly so. Our ancestors were, they really didn't know what tomorrow was going to bring. When we were hunter-gatherers, was there going to be food tomorrow? When we go over that hill, is there going to be more for us? And if we have others with us, right, like we have to care about each other, but it's also very stressful. And our mind has also evolved in a way that we don't mistake a rock for a bear. Never. But if we see a bear, we don't mistake it for a rock, right? And we get fearful, we run. So we're kind of up against this biological setup, according to modern science. But all the ancients talk about these things and how to deal with these bouts of sadness and grief and these difficult emotions. And that is kind of really where having a spiritual life and a spiritual practice start to come in. Now, you might try the Western therapeutic model and might think that it's very helpful, and it can be. It could definitely answer some of the whys and the hows and bring some peace and understanding to your being. But oftentimes people still talk about it as feeling a bit hollow and a bit empty. Where's the hope? Where's the joy? Where's a little bit of bypass, a little bit of healthy bypass? I think that it could be a beautiful thing and to remedy some hard situations, because what a spiritual life can bring you is the ability to tap into your innate ability to hope. And hope is a powerful thing. You have to have hope. Just like all of our ancestors, they had hope that tomorrow there'll be food, tomorrow there'll be safety, tomorrow will be okay. And now in our modern world, so much of us, we don't feel things are okay. In fact, many of us are quite panicked because we know things to be not okay by different measures. So what do we do about that? And that's a bit why I try here on the Middle Way to respect and shed light to all those positives that all these other faiths and traditions are doing and trying. Because we're all in this together. It's not a secret key, like you have to be Buddhist and then things happen. I know some other religions kind of work that way, but from our point of view and on the Middle Way, this is applicable. If you're a human being, this is applicable. And so, though I do want to show great respect, because there are great efforts in having a spiritual life that are so fulfilling in all of these religions and traditions. I've met some of the happiest people of my life who are practicing their faith, but they mean it and they really do engage with it. If you practice what you preach, it turns out pretty good. Whatever path you take, it's having also that inner ability to care about oneself, what one is doing, how we, are having an impact on our environment, our community, and even future generations. And that is the big hope now, is that through some of this cultivation, we can get back to having things to pass down to our children and our grandchildren. And it's not just material things, it's clean water and, healthy air. But spirituality is all-encompassing. And what's beautiful about some of that is you can define it however you want in your human spirit, right? Now, I'm thinking right now of the Buddha talking about mind, going back to this self, the conventional self, and how there is no inherently existent self. and how this self is created through the mental aggregates. It is kind of like all these things happening at once create this person or this identity that exists for a moment by moment by moment. And whether you could see that or not, or believe that or not, just the idea of it is quite amazing. The fact that these atoms hold up this planet and gravity and so on with physics, the fact that any of this works and that planes fly in the sky, right? Like, there's no lack of a sense of wonder that could be tapped into with all these wonderful things. Like, we don't have to fully get it. If our human mind is limited, as so many people and things would say, then let it be limited and enjoy what's working for you. Enjoy whatever gets you to tap in, and now you're feeling better. And you're caring and you're loving and you want to help people and you want to just help yourself. Some of us, all we can do is just help ourselves get to tomorrow because we've been through so much. But if we don't practice some sort of anything, then it kind of like, taking it into spirit to take care of ourselves, we will falter. And so many people sadly pass, in our belief, to the next life prematurely and in very bad mental states and distressing mental states, which would probably give them not a great rebirth. That's what these texts will tell you. Believe whatever you need to, but it is sad overall. And that's why I think that we really have to get back to some of our human roots. It's great having all these modern technologies, these cars, these computers, and everything digital, and I greatly benefit from it, and I indulge, and I'm immersed, but I've also had parts of my life that felt very hollow and very lonely, and definitely really bad lows in depression. And I can tell you the days that I didn't have spirituality were days it was very hard to keep going. And that's just the raw truth of that. And for many people, there's so many stories you could find. It's definitely, you're not alone. So trying to find that, and what's beautiful with spirituality and all these religions, and I'll speak about the middle way, and for me, was it gives me a framework to work out of. And what's beautiful about the Buddhist framework is it is acknowledging suffering, and it's telling me there's something I can do about it. Now that's a message that's not often spoke, right? This is not a pray it away religion here. And if that works for you, great. I'm not knocking it. It just didn't work for me. But what did was finding the empowerment and that I had the capability to help myself some. And what's beautiful about that is that there's actually still room to pray and believe, because by being a Buddhist, you don't have to stop believing in God or many gods. Some people might semantically, try to pick you apart, but don't listen to them. They don't matter. If you're good, you're good. That's not a requirement. The Buddha did not answer if there is or isn't the existence of God. The Tibetans will debate, and I was told that because there is no concrete, definitive, logical way to say it doesn't exist, and if you can't fully refute it, you have to be open to the idea also that it exists. So, great, we all need different medicine. And that's why it's beautiful that we have all these cultures and all these religions, and we live in an age where if you don't like the one you were born into, you could switch to another one. Cool. Like, most of them, if not all, I would actually say all, are welcoming. They'd love to have a new member and teach you what they're excited about. And that is going to enrich whatever you call spirit or soul. And that is so important to getting to your tomorrow, that you can have hope. Whatever it takes to get you to believe that there is going to be a better day, and that gets you to your tomorrow, I think that's really important to focus on. As we just live in this age where whatever is getting proven or disproven, and all these things are coming up and out, like it's very easy to get cynical and very like nihilistic and like, what is our purpose then? Because the human being wants purpose, right? And we're this tiny little speck on this tiny little earth in this big, big universe. Whoo, okay. And I'm a being who's needing purpose. Well, maybe we could go through all these, meditate a lot, maybe reach enlightenment, maybe many lifetimes, but we do something like that, or you can practice your faith, go to heaven, maybe that's the purpose, great. Whatever it is. I think it's important though that we tap into that, because the other way around is so sterile and so cold and industrial, and just that 9 to 5, the grind, and just cogs in the wheels, rats in the race. It doesn't feel good. It's kind of against our nature. And we are part of nature. We are made up of the same things nature is made up of. We are a part of it. We are not separate from, and everything goes back again. It's interdependent. We're all in this together. So I hope that this has inspired you some. Maybe you'll check out the middle way. Maybe you'll connect with your own faith or your old faith. Whatever you may do, I hope that you could do it earnestly, genuinely, and you could really just feel it down to your bones. This is what it's about. This is what life's about for me. While I'm here, I'm gonna do this, and this is what it's about for me. And hopefully you could expand that to others and, benefit us all. So if you like this episode and you like the channel, no pressure, but if you feel inclined, please like, subscribe, and share. This just helps other people join us on the journey. And if not, I'm just happy that you're here. So on that note, we'll end on our favorite breath. Peace in and peace out. I wish you well. I hope that you're happy, healthy, and free of suffering. And until the next time, thank you for being here. Bye.